Hello, hello, hello. We are back with another one. I tried to do another one of these last week, and I thought, you know what? We'll use a microphone instead of just the microphone on the camera, and it sounded like dog, so I had to just get rid of it. And instead, I went and got this little guy, and maybe it'll sound better now. Wahey! So, we're back with another custom Magic Bingo. We didn't get bingo in the video that I had to throw away, so at least we didn't miss much. We've also had to combine a couple of weeks together because we're just running into a lot of deleted posts. So, without further ado, dun dun dun, dun why is this not set up to be what I want it to be? Dun, 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 dun. Custom Magic Bingo. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards that I haven't seen before. And let's jump into it. Selka's Unlikely Tale. It is a... It's a saga for 1 green, blue, black. With horrendous AI art right off the bat. Okay. Normal saga stuff. Add a lore counter. Scry 1. Draw 2 cards. Create a 2/3 rat wizard token with flying. Step 2. Add blue-green. Create a 3/3 green monkey rat noble with trample. Level 3. Flip a coin. If you lose the flip, sacrifice this permanent. Step 4. Exile this saga. Oh, we've just turned to night mode. Exile this saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. Is there a second card? What does it transform into? No second card. Maybe it's in the... What's the other side? You haven't posted the other side. They're right, they didn't edit it to say sacrifice after 4. Way too overpowered in my opinion, even with just the first tick. Yeah, okay, well, so we don't know what it transforms into. I'm going to guess a rat king, or rat something, rat noble. So scry and then draw, and get a 2/3 token with flying. I don't understand why it's a rat wizard with flying. Why couldn't it have been like a bird rat wizard if you can have a monkey rat? And I want to know what it turns into. Either way, horrendous or horrible AI art. So we would tick that off. Flip a coin. If you lose the flip, sacrifice this permanent. I mean, I guess. Sure. Not a terrible start. There's been worse cards. Void Mage Interventionist. A green, white, red creature human wizard. Vigilance Ward 2. At the beginning of the game, you may reveal Void Mage Interventionist from your hand. If you do, you gain protection from instants and sorceries until your second turn. Void Mage Interventionist, yet another 5-cent human, 5-color humans wishlist card to stop turn 1 and turn 2 Inquisition and Thoughtseize. I mean, at least I started reading that and I thought they were gonna like give you like a leyline 3/4 creature, and I was gonna lose it. I was gonna lose it. In all seriousness, I was gonna say, how are you going to give a free 3/4 or just for starting with it in your hand? I mean, protection from instants and sorceries. I mean, I'm gonna give this one the weirdly specific hate piece. This guy just hates fucking 1-drop instants and sorceries. Or something. Yeah. Like, there's nothing really wrong about it. I mean, I don't understand why it has a color. Indicator. Win. Conniving Genasi. What a text. Why? Why do they always put so much text? 1 white, blue, black for a legendary human Jinn Shaman. It's a mythic. Okay, they've given themselves, I think the last couple have just been rares. At least this one's saying, hey, it's going to be busted, but at least it's a mythic. When Conniving Genasi enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. Remove a wish counter from Win Conniving Genasi and choose one. Choose each one only once per turn. Oh wait, so you can do all 3 just straight off the rip? When Conniving Genasi phases out, create 3 treasure tokens. If when Conniving Genasi dies this turn, exile it from your graveyard with 3 time counters on it, it gains Suspend. Create a copy of target creature you control except it's an illusion in addition to its other types and has 0 power. Okay, so right off the rip, why is everyone so obsessed with making their legendary or their like commanders basically free? You play this and then instantly you get 3 mana back. Okay, just make this a 1 cost. Just make this a 1 generic. If he dies, exile it from your graveyard with 3 time counters on it. Okay. How long? When does he phase back in? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. When something normally denotes phasing out, doesn't it say it phases out until the end of the turn, or something? So like, does it just not come back? Is it just exiled forever? Is that the drawback? That you just never get this back? You're right. So I guess he phases out. Well, before he creates 3 treasure tokens. Before he phases out, you create a copy. You sacrifice the one that you've already used the ability of and do it again. And then again and again and again until you have unlimited treasure tokens. Yeah. Okay. I also don't like how this has weird white sides. Just feels lazy. Just feels lazy. The life and death of Lorelia Diavi. Davie. A red, white, black. A legendary enchantment creature human warrior saga. Okay. As this saga enters and after your draw step, add a lore counter, then double the number of lore counters. If Lorelia has less than 18 lore counters, she has training. Less than 18, so turn 1, she has 2. Turn 1 she has 2. Turn 2 she has 4. Turn 3 she has 8. Turn 4 she has 16. Turn 5 she has 32. Then she has 64. And then she has 124. Wait a minute. Alright, so we'll finish it. If Lorelia has 18 or more lore counters, she has first strike and attacks each turn if able. If she does, create a treasure for each +1/+1 counter on it. If Lorelia has 67 or more lore counters, she has Defender. When Lorelia gains Defender, draw a card for each treasure you control. If Lorelia has 100 or more lore counters, you may sacrifice each other permanent you control and discard your hand. If you don't, sacrifice Lorelia. You never even get to trigger that third ability. Like, unless you proliferate in some way to change the doubling, because, yeah, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. It just completely skips by this ability. You never even get to draw more AI art. I don't know if that's is it intentional? Surely it's not only they don't line up with the requirements anyway, which is aesthetically unpleasing, thank you. It could also be changed so the 18 4th turn requires 4 counters, and both the 67 5th turn and 100 5th turn too require 5 counters. Both happen on the same turn. It's an epic saga about a strong, independent woman. That's why it's a saga, and that's why it needs lore counters, obviously. The lore counters represent her age and the years she's lived through. This is very aesthetically pleasing. Any other counter type and counter count is nonsensical. You can manipulate the number of counters on her in various ways, proliferate, remove a counter, add a counter, etc. to experience the many different years in her life. It's okay that you're not getting the reference, as this is an OC character on a custom card. She is new to basically nearly everyone on Earth. This guy's a troll, right? This guy has to be. I mean, on the plus side, hey, look, we're going to tick off legendary that's someone's friend or OC. I mean, I guess I clicked in with him and I said maybe he's thinking you'll proliferate or like change the number of counters. It still only you have to do that pretty quickly, and you have to do it in such a way that you get to 68 before you get to 100. I mean, I guess, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to blur this out. Sibel, Mother of Machines. A tricolor pip, legendary artifact creature, human. Creatures you control have reconfigure 1. Why? Why do you want... Moving on. Oh my god. Invoke conservancy, invoke carelessness. Okay. For each creature you control, create a treasure token for each of that creature's colors and put a devoid counter on it. Put a devoid counter on 2 target permanents. They lose all abilities and become lands named Mossfire Valley with 1 tap to add red-green. I'm looking for the Brushwag. A 2 and a green sorcery with kicker. Shuffle a Brushwag you control to its owner's library. Spell check, guys. Draw 2 cards. If the spell was kicked, draw 3 cards instead. This is just divination for green. This is just divination, but for green. Okay. Last one. Odinia, House of Oddity. If Odinia, House of Oddity is tapped, you can't play lands. If the number of lands you control is odd, Odinia, House of Oddity gain. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. If Odinia, House of Oddity is tapped, you can't play lands. If the number of lands you control is odd, Odinia, House of Oddity gains, add 1 mana of any color. So you can play it turn 1 and get 1 mana of any color, and then turn 2 does nothing, because you can't even tap it, get your floating mana, and then play a land, because you can't play lands once it's tapped. So it does stuff on 1, 3, 5, assuming you hit all your land drops. God, how terrible would it feel if you are on turn 4 and then just start missing land drops for the rest of the game, because that can happen, and then all of a sudden you really only have 3 lands. It just feels bad. That's, I mean, like I can understand what he's going for. Like, instead of it being like a shock land or something to get you like any color mana. So the drawback is that it only working 50% of the time at best is, I think, too much of a downside. It's not terrible, it's just not fun. Which I think, honestly, is like what a lot of these seem to boil down to. Like, I mean, that one, okay, no, that one's broken. That one's fine. This one, broken. This one doesn't make any sense. I'm not clicking that one again. This one, I don't even understand what they're going for. This one's just divination, and this one's just odd. I suspect this is mechanically balanced, but it would be so hard to grok that no one would play it. I don't know what grok means, but... So what do we get? We're going to take off anime for the naked anime lady. We got AI. We got the hate piece. Aggressive on the naked lady as well. Aggressive misuse of split mana pips. technically, this is the cost as part of the activated ability. I don't want to do this row again to get the bingo because that's the bingo that we got last time. So I'm not going to count it. We'll get the bingo again, technically, but I'm not going to count it because we can't just get the same bingo every time. All right, congratulations. Now I'm going to figure out how to do some blur.